Hello future canners, thanks for joining me here. I'm going to hopefully help you pickle your cucumbers. We are getting them in abundance right now in the Midwest. This is a straight 8 cucumber. This is the size that you're looking for. You don't want to let it get away from you. I've decided to cut mine in chip style. If you prefer spears, you can go ahead and do yours in spears. These are 1 pint size jars with the wide mouth lids, wide mouth tops. And it's easier for me to put them in, I feel. We're also using a brine mixture with vinegar, purified water, since I use a water softener, and pickling and canning salt. So that was 3 cups of water, or I'm sorry, 3 cups of vinegar, 6 cups of water, and 5 tablespoons of pickling and canning salt. And it was the perfect brine mixture. If you need to play around with it, and if you want to make sure that you taste it first, make sure the salt is not going to be too salty. It should have enough to flavor. It's a trial and error kind of thing, so that's why I'm giving you my recipe. It works really well for me. Adding fresh garlic to the jars, just a half a clove per jar. Just peeling, slicing the clove in half, and then hammering the side of it with my knife to open it up, plopping it in the bottom of the jar, and then adding a tablespoon of spices. Now they have these pre-made pickling spices, which are really handy to get. This is the first year I'm trying this one. I'll have to let you know how it is. However, they also have them in your produce markets, pre-packaged, which I found to be very yummy last year. I had some left over that I used this year too. Right now I'm all out of that one, so we're using this one for the last 2 jars. Okay, so we sterilized our jars. You want to take off the lids, separate the lids, and put just the lids inside of your pan. You want to make sure that they are upright, so that the bottom side of the jar lid is facing down. And all I did was bring these to a boil, and then turned off the burner. And they're going to sit there and wait for us for when we're ready. Okay? Sterilizing the jars, all you need to do is use your prongs from your kit. And I've been pretty good at using one-handed motions here for this. However, whichever way is easier for you to grab them out. You just want to make sure that the steam is not getting you. The steam will burn you faster than this boiling water will. So, in we go. So once these jars are sterilized, you just pull them out, put them on a towel, and they're ready to go. I already have my pickles, or my cucumbers already sliced and everything. So all I'm going to do is cut up the garlic, get the garlic ready, and add the seasoning real quick. And I'll be right back to show you how we add the brine. Alright, so we're back. I did the garlic and I added 1 tablespoon of spices to the bottom of the jar. Then I just completely stuffed them with the cucumbers. I want to make sure that I have so much in here. The fluid is going to wrap, or I should say the brine. The brine is going to come around and loosen them up. Which I just am using just a regular quart cup here just to pour in the brine mixture. And yes, it is hot, and that's okay, because right now what we're going to do is just put these in, or pour it in till it's about half. You want about a ½ an inch from the top. Now that's another great thing this little handy tool here is good for, is it's got its measurements at the base, and all you have to do is just line it up to the edge of your jar to make sure that you have the right amount of juice in each jar. Okay, this one obviously needs a little bit more. Okay, so after that's done, we have got to make sure that not only is the brine at a ½ an inch to the bottom of the jar, and like this one right here, it looks like it's a little bit too much maybe. What I'm doing right now is I'm just sticking the other side of this tool into the jar, and I'm getting out the air bubbles. You want to be a little gentle about the process so as not to spear your pickles, your future pickles. And then just make sure the cucumbers are covered all the way. Okay. This also helps release the spices. Make sure that everything is getting marinated in this wonderful brine. Okay, once this is finished, very simple to do. Once that's finished, you just want to use your paper towels. Do not use a dish towel. Use a paper towel. There's a reason for it. What we're going to do is just wipe down the edges of your jar, the top edge here. We're going to wipe this down just to make sure that there's nothing on it that is going to prevent the jar from sealing or seal it with any kind of bacteria in there. You want to make sure it's clean. This is to clean it thoroughly. Okay, real quick wipe with that. That's all you need. Now I am getting my lid jars, or my jar tops, placing them on top of the jar. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get it off. Whatever you do, do not touch the jar lid on the edges. Okay, let's slide it off. There we go. Last 2 jars of the night. I am tired. So, okay. Once those jar lids are on, you can touch that in the middle just to make sure that there's no play in it. You'll feel that, like this one had a little bit of play just now. Now it's right. Okay, once that's done, all we have to do is just twist down the tops, twist down the caps. Now, holding the camera, I cannot twist these properly. I'm going to set the camera down and make sure that these are tight. All the way tightened. Okay, make sure there's no play in your lid. Now, this is fine. You can actually keep these in your fridge for up to 2 months and eat at any time. Okay? You want to wait at least 2 days before trying. You want to make sure that it's marinated for at least 2 days, whether you do a water bath or not. The water bath, however, will keep and preserve your pickles for years to come. Okay, so if you want to give them away as gifts at Christmas, great. Anything, they'll be good up until next year. So that's what they recommend, is 1 year. But it's really good for years to come. As long as the seal is sealed, okay, on your jar. Right now you can see that. That is not a sealed jar. Just like when you buy them in the store, there's no play in the top, but once you open it, it pops it open and lets the air in. So what the water bath does is it seals the jar. It uses, actually there's a science to it with the heat. The heat sealed. So, okay, this water is still piping hot. I am going to turn it back on to get it boiling. All I'm going to do is tighten these up, put them back in using my prongs, and putting in the jars in the water bath for 10 minutes. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes at a roiling boil. 10 minutes at a roiling boil, and they're done. You just pull them out with the prongs, put them on your towel, make sure there's air in between, so as it's cooling, the air can circulate in between the jars, and voila, you will have pickles. Now, if by chance, because it takes about a half an hour to 40 minutes or so, sometimes less, you'll start hearing ting, ting, and that is your jar popping, is your jar sealing. That is the heat. That's the heat is being lost, and it's sealing your jar. So, if by chance the jar does not seal, like I said, they will be fine to eat up to 2 months in your fridge. You know, you can't keep up with them now, but you can preserve them for later, and this is a wonderful thing, and it's just so easy. I had to share. So thanks for watching. Like and comment if you can, and hopefully it helped you out. Thanks again. Talk to you later. Mama Cass signing out.